Right, we often get asked, where are the young people? What are they doing? So we have invited today Stella Mavropol, who is from the Young European Movement, who's going to talk to us a bit about what YEM are doing and how you guys can get involved with engaging with younger people.
So, hello everyone, I hope you can hear me. Thank you, Emma, for introducing me. So, as Emma said, my name is Stella, and I'm the International Officer of the Young European Movement UK. And I'm very, very excited to be here with you today and listening to all these very interesting conversations. So before moving to my presentation, I would like to say a few things about me. So as you can understand from my accent, I guess, I'm not British. I come from Greece. So I came in the UK last year after completing my bachelor's degree in Thessaloniki. I studied politics and I came here to pursue my master's degree in human rights and politics at the London School of Economics. And so many people ask me, why am I so passionate about Brexit, about all the things that are happening in the UK right now? As I'm not British, it's not immediately related to me. They ask me, is it personal or is it something general? First of all, obviously it's personal. It has to do with the fact that I came here to study and I had to pay the international fee for my master's degree. I had to have a visa. I also had to, I cannot imagine my future in the UK, even if I want to, because I know that it has an expiration date based on my visa. I cannot have relationships, friendships that I'm sure that I can live with these people. So yeah, obviously it's personal, but also based on my master's degree and the general perception, I realized quite soon that Brexit was a massive mistake and has exposed and intensified the experience of racism for all among ethnic minorities. And I think that these two broad themes make me be so passionate about Brexit, and that's why I joined the Young European Movement. So, talking about the Young European Movement, Scott, if you want to go to the next slide. So for those who don't know, we are the leading youth pro-European organization in the UK. We are the UK section of JEF, Young European Federalists, and the youth wing of European Movement. And as you can see, we're not a massive organization. We only have 150 members. We have 4 branches that are very active, the London one, which I'm part of, the Manchester one in Aberdeen, and one in Oxford. And however, even though we're not many members, I think that many people agree that we represent more than 3 million voices of young people. If you want to go to the next one. So in April, if I'm not wrong, in April we had the elections for the new board, and these are the lovely people that got elected this time, and it's honestly an amazing team that works very hard for the common mission that we all have in this room. So yeah, I hope that you will be able to meet them at some point. Scott. So, as you can see in this slide, during the referendum in 2016, 36% of people aged 18 to 24 voted, and 73% of them voted to remain. And based on that, I think that it is very important to think of the generational divide when it comes to voting for Brexit. So unfortunately, it's mostly older generations, older people that voted for Brexit. This outcome does not represent young people. And I think this is something sad, but at the same time, this is something that gives us hope for the future, because we know that young people don't want to be outside the EU. They want to be part of the EU, and this is really going to change in the future. So what this means for us, for the Young European Movement, is that we really want to become a leading organization. We are small now, but we can actually grow. And we want to capture the hearts and the minds of the young people. We want to inspire them. We don't just want members. We want people that can actually, that are really inspired from what we try to do and can also inspire other people. And so here you can see that actually the most important part of this slide is that for us, we know that young people cannot have a massive legislative impact. However, we think that young people can actually navigate public opinion. They can change the political landscape. And this is why we want passionate people in our organization, because we think that we can actually train the next generation to be more linked to Europe and to be more passionate about European stuff. Perfect. So based on what I said right now, our work is mainly focused on on 4 pillars. So first one is stability. We don't just want to, to talk, to be in conferences and not having a real base on what we say and what we do. We actually want to be a more serious organization. We want to have a more clear vision, and this is why we want to be more connected to the European movement. We also want the second pillar is scalability. So we know that right now we don't have enough members. So everything that we do, even our membership channeling, is based on an Excel sheet, which is kind of funny for an organization. We want to move from this and move on to another stage where we can have nation builder, or we can actually have effective management, effective membership channeling. Then we really want to achieve change that can be actually seen, not only in words. And that's why this year we decided to focus only in one campaign, which I'm going to present in a few moments. And it's called the Embrace Erasmus campaign. And the last thing that we really try as an organization is to not only, as I said, to have members, but also to empower them, to make them feel confident, to talk about politics, to be interested in politics, to be confident, to believe that they can have a change in this world. So now, I already mentioned that we only have one campaign for this year, together with other events that I'm going to talk about. So our campaign is called Embracing Erasmus, and unfortunately, we know that we are not going to rejoin the EU soon. And this is something that we all know in this room. So we decided that the easiest thing to do right now is the most achievable one is to focus on Erasmus, because young people were let down by the government and the touring scheme, and the fact that money in the end go outside our country. I mean, the UK, they go outside. We have lost the good reputation that UK universities used to have. We also don't have any diversity in this country related to, there are no students that are coming through Erasmus to study here, which is also very sad. And there is also the fact that we think that with this campaign, we can actually achieve something in the short term and not in the long term that everything related to the EU mean. So we have 3 phases in this campaign. It's more of an informal talk right now because we haven't launched it yet, but we generally need to maximize support for Erasmus among MPs, and we would like to force the cabinet to address the issue formally. So the three phases are, first of all, we start with a discourse, so we want to facilitate a national conversation around Erasmus, and this is going to happen first of all through coalition building. We try to work with different organizations to make them, to persuade them that what we think is actually something that can be achieved. And secondly, we have the online campaign that we're going to launch soon, and we are also working closely with many universities trying to build uni affiliations. And then after phase one, we have phase two, which is more related to pressing the cabinet, the people that actually make decisions, take the decisions, to acknowledge the issue and, you know, try to change what is happening. And then we move to phase three, which is actually one of the most important. And this has to do with persuading the public, first of all, that we want the UK is welcome back to the EU. The Erasmus is important to be part of the UK, and also British youth should feel welcome. So we think that this is not something that the EU can do immediately. We are just thinking that something neutral from the EU, like a statement, like for example, saying that, yeah, if the UK wants to rejoin Erasmus, we don't have any problem with that. We think that this can actually make a change. So yeah, this campaign will be launched very soon, and we would like the support of the Young European Movement and every other organization that believes in this mission and thinks that it can actually be achievable. Now, regarding our events, this year is going to be very busy, and we are having a different perspective regarding events. We know that sometimes politics can be very boring for young people. It can be political campaigning can also be quite boring, and many young people are not interested. As we can see, it's sad that in this room there are no young people. So we're having a new perspective, and for example, the first series of events is called YEM Culture Class, and it has to do with, we want this time to focus on something different. So we're thinking of having a more artistic perspective, and we know that politics can be influenced by music, by poetry, by different things, and this is actually something that young people can be more interested rather than politics. So we are planning on having a series of events related to artistic things, artistic nature stuff, and we think that this is gonna encourage more people to get involved. Then we're also having another series of events which is called Future Voices, and it's more about networking, because this is something that every young person likes, going to a place, talking from my personal experience, going in a nice venue, having some drinks, discussing with like-minded individuals. This is something that is always attractive to young people. Then one of my favorite ones is the EU and Equality event that we're planning on having. This is something that is very important because it's going to be a panel of international speakers, and we'll examine the state of gender equality in the EU and how the UK is affected after Brexit. This is more human rights related, and I think that this is a very, very important topic that has to be addressed, especially related to gender inequalities and minorities. So yeah, this is something that will happen in September, possibly. There will be an official announcement, and I really encourage you, if you can join this too, and if you can be there, it's going to be amazing. And the last one is the Young Leaders Development Program. This one is, again, something like more of a training, because as I said previously, we don't just want to have members, we want them to feel empowered, to feel confident. And this is going to happen by having some trainings on public speaking, on campaign building, and maybe on how to interact with higher political figures. So yeah, this is the plan for the year, and it's going to be many events, almost every month. And this is my last slide, and then I'm done talking to you all about all these things. So it is actually time to say what we really need, because, as I said, we are a very small organization, and we really need help, because we have very high expectations, and we're very passionate about our mission, but we need help. First of all, in our campaign, it would be great if we could have promotion for our online campaigns through posts. It would be also amazing if we could have more publicity in our events, because we need more people generally, and we need diversity in the people that we have as our audience. And of course, we really love when we can get more connections with journalists and political figures. And the last thing that I want to say is that generally we would like a stronger and deeper connection with EM, with the European movement, and with other organizations that have the same mission, because we really think that young people can be the future. And if we manage to do all the things that we are planning, we're sure that the next generations will have a stronger and safer Europe to live in. Thank you very much.